Thank you. I'm here to say fun. I'm just feeling so much fun. That's all I'm feeling in life. And your teachings have given me so much perspective on how to actually take it and live it. And that's what I do, and I model it, and I love it. And if we were to continue the conversation about anything, it would be how to be in a place, as many of us have talked about up here already and in other conversations, when a bump comes, how to stay in the place of this or something better. And I like all the what used to be referred to as the pre-paving and the really feeling the emotions first thing before we have a bump in our vibration to encounter it.
The best pre-paving is to be in the vibration of receiving. In other words, that's the best pre-paving that there is. In fact, if we were to write a book about pre-paving again, we would talk all about receiving mode. Because when you're in the receiving mode, then you're just tuned in, and then guidance comes along the way. Jerry and Esther got on an airplane a few years ago, and the flight attendant asked them if they would sit next to this young girl who was flying on her own. Her name was Hannah. And as they got to know her, the flight attendant seemed to indicate that Hannah was very insecure. And so Esther was sort of trying to make conversation with her. It turned out Hannah was not the least bit insecure. She was just busy. She had things that she would rather do than talk to old people. And so as the flight went on, she was reading her book and having a good time. And when the plane started to land, it was bumpy. And Hannah said, "Oh, this is going to be so much fun." And Esther is thinking, who are you? Because she was so self-confident. She had clearly flown before. She had no fear about anything. And the bumps were fun for her. There were other people on the airplane that were very tense about the very rough ride they were having. Hannah really hoped with all her might that the plane would shoot right off the end of the runway. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be fun if when we landed, the brakes didn't hold us and we got to go right through the fence? Hannah was looking for adventure and new, and her sense of well-being and her sense of security was such that bumps were fun. Not little bumps, not just big bumps, big old scary bumps. But there were adults on the airplane that were wringing their hands, and Hannah's going, "Woohoo, woohoo, this is so much fun." And so the pre-paving that you're talking about really is when you're in that place of well-being, so that things that are ordinarily bumps to other people are fun or interesting to you. Your reaction to the bumps is all about your shock absorbers that you've put there to begin with. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
The bumps can be fun.
Every bump is fun. That's why you came. Not one of you said, "I'll come, but smooth it all out. And when I get there, I just want a nice, smooth, boring, not moving forward life at all." None of you said that.
Smooth sound feels really good to me. So the smooth and the ease feels good. But what I'm hearing is maybe once I feel like I've had enough smooth and ease, then I might want something more.
So let's say you've got a vehicle and you want to go down this canyon, and it's a bumpy road because hardly anybody goes there. But you want to go because it's the most beautiful vista in the world, and because there are unique things that are only in this canyon, and because you've heard about it and you want to be there, but the road is rough. So you go in your vehicle that has really good shock absorbers, and the bumps don't matter because what you are seeing is so much more worth it, you see.
Got it.
So you got to get your eye off the bump, off the pothole, and on what you're wanting to see, and you become resilient, and your inner being guides you around the bumps. When you know what you want and you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on, your inner being knows what your path of least resistance is. We want to bluntly say to you that every bump or every piece of resistance on your path you've put there, and you keep it alive by acknowledging its existence. So if you stop calling it bumps and start calling it fun, and you stop calling it bumps and you call it interesting things, and you stop calling it bumps and you call it variety, and you stop calling it bumps and you call it information that helps you put things into your vortex, then you put the bumps in perspective, just like you want to put the differences of opinion in perspective, and you want to put the differences that people are living in perspective. You really don't want to live all by yourself. You really don't. You could live in a very smooth place where everything's the same, everything's put away, and you know where it all is, and there's never any confusion about anything, and nobody ever tips anything over or breaks anything. In other words, you're just in that very small, contained, perfect place. And we promise you, that's not what you came for. You came for bumps. You came for bumps and a remembrance of your ability to enjoy them. Not cope with them. We didn't say cope. Did you hear that? We didn't say cope.
Yes.
We said enjoy them. Enjoy them for the desire that is born out of them, for the clarification that is born out of them. And we believe you when you say you're up for fun. We believe you. Yes. We just think that before this conversation, you were up for more conditional fun. And Absolutely. When you decide to be unconditional in your fun, and you see how the universe can pull out the stops because you're in this place, the fun that you will have is indescribable. People looking on will not relate.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You are.
Thank
Really
you.
good. Really good. Yes.